What's it like being red dot in a blue state? I call us the creamy goodness that is in the middle of the ding-dong that is the state. That's actually how I describe us.
I'm driving north through California on the state's major artery, the 5. This is the Central Valley. Hidden away from California's big progressive cities, Kern County grows more crops than any other single county in the U.S. It's also one of the most oil-rich places in the country, and oil drilling has been a way of life here for generations. Although California is known for its liberal politics, environmentalism, and solid blue voting record, this valley stands out as a deep red dot in an otherwise blue state. Here, they voted decisively for Donald Trump in 2016. And nothing illustrates this paradox more than the city of Bakersfield, the seat of Kern County. I'm on my way to find out what life is like for people in one of the most conservative cities in one of the most progressive states in our nation.
KNZR, Bakersfield's talk radio leader, Inga Barks. She knows the mayor.
We will make America safe again.
And we will make America great again.
Tomorrow the gas tax starts, and this money's not going toward roads, and if anybody believes that, they're nuts. It's going to cover their social welfare programs. How can you have free breakfast, lunch, and dinner at schools? How can you have every single person on Medi-Cal that wants to be, citizen or no? They're thieves and they're liars, and in the last couple of days we've learned a lot of them are kind of pervy.
Known around here as Bakersfield's hometown girl, Inga Barks is in many ways the quintessential California Central Valley conservative. Although she parted ways with the radio station shortly after we filmed this piece, Inga was an omnipresent voice for years, broadcasting her thoughts for 3 hours daily into thousands of homes, cubicles, and cars in Kern County.
Trying to find me something better on the streets of Bakersfield.
I was born here. It's my home. Yeah. Born at Mercy Hospital. Almost died at Mercy Hospital, but mostly lived. Oh, I miss Bakersfield from back then. I do, because we'll drive down the street nowadays and you'll see places that used to pass all the time that aren't open anymore. That's always kind of sad.
Hey, how are you?
Doing very well. How are you?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment about the gas tax. As a cattle rancher, I have 3 ranch trucks that I run. What that new tax is going to cost my small business is $2,600 extra a year. That's just something that I have to eat if I'm going to continue. And just for perspective, I don't have the opportunity just to step up and move to Texas. My family's been here since 1858. I'm stuck here where I'm at.
I think conservatives in Bakersfield are ignored. We can feed everybody in this valley. 90% of the tomatoes are grown here. Pistachios are #1 in the world right here. There's nothing you can't grow here. And they reward us by ignoring us.
Recent state-imposed environmental regulations, like the new gas tax and water rationing during California's historic drought, have been largely taken as hostile acts by industrial farmers in the Central Valley.
Like, people always smell like air fresheners and stuff like that. I think it's the best smell in the world. The best smell in the world to me is fresh cut alfalfa, or when it's the first shot of rain on dry ground. I don't know how to explain it to people. It's just the best feeling in the world. Call Sergio. Habla Sergio. Yeah. Okay. Gracias. Está bien. Thank you. A lot of people think it's Silicon Valley, but the 2 industries that really build this state is agriculture and oil. We don't just feed the United States, we feed the world. I think there's a big disconnect between people in the cities and out here on the farm. I don't think anything that we do as human beings can affect the climate. Where we're at right now used to be ice millions of billions of years ago. The Earth changes because it's Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is bigger than us. Those type of regulations take a toll. That doesn't affect just us, but it affects our employees' families. It affects the truckers. It trickles down all the way back to the grocery store. And I don't think a lot of people recognize that. The reason our country is is so independent is because we have the greatest agriculture, the greatest oil, we have the greatest military, and that's what makes us the greatest superpower.
But we keep losing jobs in the private sector as the public sector grows and grows. So why should I feel bad about the public sector shrinking? I'm kind of tired of us all losing our jobs out here.
It was a lot of fun growing up here. It was an easy place to grow up. You could walk to school and back. You know, that really was when people all knew their neighbors and sat out and talked. It was that total America, that Norman Rockwell kind of stuff, you know. Moms stayed home, dads worked. I can't remember disliking anybody or fearing anything other than strangers, which I still fear strangers.
This is the Inga Barks Show. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood with us. Donnie, you know, we're in a sanctuary state.
It's absurd that they're afraid to report. They aren't afraid to report. They're not afraid of law enforcement. They may be afraid of ICE because they don't really know. Mm-hmm. And the more the advocates, the liberal side of this issue spreads the rumor that law enforcement will deport you, they'll stop you, they'll break up your family, they'll call ICE, they'll do this, they'll do that. It instills fear. We haven't deported anyone in 40 years.
I grew up pretty colorblind because everybody was white. No, that's not true. That's not true. I had friends of every group. It's just I do think that the racial makeup of Kern County has absolutely changed. When I bought my house, my goal was to live somewhere where everybody there was better than me and put my kids in schools where everybody was better than them. But it wasn't long before my neighborhood was suddenly all renters. They didn't care about their house. They didn't care about mine. And next thing you know, I'm seeing dishwashers on the front lawns of my neighborhood that I moved into to be with people better than me. I won't attribute that to ethnicity, just to a different group of people.
We have witnesses who say that the driver of the truck in Manhattan yelled Allahu Akbar. I don't know what to say. If somebody yelled that in Bakersfield, I don't think it'd go over well. And I assure you, and I hate to be political, but I assure you the conversation tonight on MSNBC and CNN will not be about banning pellet guns. We'll be right back. I'm Inga.
I got you in camera. Look at that. You want to see your picture? That's you.
While I was filling up at a gas station, I met Freddie, who was curious about my camera. Turns out, he's a shooter as well.
Everybody who is a good citizen, they should have a CCW, a concealed carry weapon.
Why?
To protect the family, to protect yourself in situations. It's too much bad people around. This is a Smith & Wesson revolver. We have to check all the time if it's unloaded. Look at that. That's the deer liver. Look at that. Oh, I born far away from here in El Salvador. And then I got married, and we have 2 children, boy and girl. They went to college, and now they are producing for the country. You know, like making America great again.
From the perspective of people like me, there seems to be a lot of frustration with liberals from the working class in America. Why do you think that is?
Liberals don't. You know what they do? They push laws that don't affect them. Come to America, just live in Bakersfield. They don't care about the poor people that they say they're doing things for, because they seem to remain well off. I don't deny that the climate changes. I deny that taking more of my money will fan away the fog. It keeps people poor. It keeps people poor. It keeps them out of work. And the guys who are pitching it are flying around in airplanes all the time telling us not to drive. And so I wouldn't call them hypocrites. I think that they actually believe that they're very noble. And that they're very, very right. But I just think we need to be kinder to each other. I mean, why is everybody looking out to be offended? That sounds like a bummer all day. You're a woman, you know, then you're in a special group. You're gay, you're in a special group. You're a woman who's not gay, but you want to be a man, you're in a special group. I don't care. I just want to wake up, go to work, pay my bills, and go home and watch Modern Family. And I want that for everybody.
You do, and have bear spray with you. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get it. Anyway, Greg, here's to parrots, and we will see you next Tuesday. And kids, you be safe out there, because we're about to hit the roads. Hug your babies, love one another. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. I'm Inga. This is KNZR.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click over here to see another video about Arizona teens devoted to President Trump, as well as their own dreams of running for office in 2036.